Ever wonder what makes someone like Elon Musk, well, Elon?
It's the question, isn't it?
We're diving deep into Walter Isaacson's new biography
Yeah.
to go way beyond the rockets and the memes
Right.
and uncover what shaped the man behind those bold ideas.
It's a fascinating story, and Isaacson really gets into Musk's childhood.
Which you kind of have to, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
understand someone's drive.
Crucial. It's crucial to understand, and let me tell you,
Yeah.
it's a far cry from your average upbringing.
It's intense.
Yeah.
Isaacson does not hold back on the tough stuff.
No, he doesn't.
We are talking brutal bullying, a family life that sounds incredibly complicated.
Yeah, just try to imagine being bullied so severely that you need surgery later in life.
It's rough.
That's the reality that Isaacson paints, and then on top of that, you've got his father, described as emotionally abusive, prone to these, elaborate fantasies.
Wow.
It was not an easy,
Yeah.
it clearly wasn't an easy childhood.
You can see how an environment like that might foster,
Oh, absolutely.
well, a certain resilience, even
Yeah.
a fearlessness.
Absolutely. And it's fascinating how this kind of, live on the edge thread runs through their lives.
Right.
Even seemingly positive memories like flying across Africa as a toddler or exploring dangerous cities alone as a kid
Right.
have this edge of risk to them,
Yeah.
And Isaacson highlights how this kind of live dangerously ethos, especially from the Haldeman side, seems almost ingrained in them.
Right, like it's almost expected. It makes you wonder how those early experiences, those contrasts, shaped his now infamous
Oh, yeah.
tolerance for risk. But it wasn't just about facing down danger. Isaacson talks about Musk finding refuge in, well, science fiction.
Oh, absolutely. That's a key insight.
Really?
He devoured Asimov, those robot stories.
Right.
He even credits The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy with saving him from existential dread. But here's the thing. This wasn't just a kid escaping reality.
Right.
It's like those sci-fi worlds became blueprints,
Exactly.
a way of seeing what's possible.
Exactly. It's no coincidence that he's now tackling things that seemed like science fiction just a few years ago.
Yeah.
And that love of strategy games Isaacson talks about, that's another piece of the puzzle.
Right. Always running simulations in his head, thinking several moves ahead. Right. It's like he sees the world as this giant game to be won, constantly strategizing, aiming for that optimal outcome.
Which might explain why a teenage Elon was already coding and selling video games.
Wow.
Clearly a bright kid, but even geniuses have those turning point moments.
Right.
Isaacson talks about Musk's summer internship at a video game company.
Sure, yeah.
And it's really telling.
See, he could have easily stayed in gaming, right?
Right.
A field he loved,
Yeah.
excelled in.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where we see this drive for impact emerge.
Okay.
It wasn't enough to entertain, right?
Yeah, right.
He wanted to change the world.
Yeah.
And back then, the internet was the way to do it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So cue the classic startup montage. Long nights, ramen dinners, battles with VCs.
The grind.
Zip 2, Musk's first big venture, had it all. But what makes Isaacson's account so compelling are the details. Like almost missing a crucial investor pitch because Kimball was rescuing their mom's computer.
Oh, no, that's hilarious. But that anecdote,
Yeah.
as funny as it is, speaks volumes about their dynamic.
Yeah.
And you start to see how even then, Musk's drive clashed with traditional management.
Right.
He wasn't content being just the idea guy. He was obsessed with getting the product right, even if it meant rewriting his team's code at 3:00 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about hands-on. That drive can be incredibly inspiring, but you can also see how it might be a lot to handle.
Oh,
For
absolutely.
those around him.
Especially in those early days.
Yeah.
But, the results speak for themselves.
Right.
Zip 2 sells for over $300 million.
Wow.
Musk gets his first taste of serious wealth.
Wow.
So what does he do?
Yeah, right. Retire to an island.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kick back, relax.
Exactly.
Not a chance. He dives headfirst into X.com with this vision that extends far beyond online payments, as Isaacson points out.
Right. So even then, it was bigger.
Oh, yeah. This is where we see that Elon-ness crystallizing.
Okay.
Money wasn't the goal.
Right.
It was a tool to tackle bigger problems. Sustainable energy, space exploration. Those childhood dreams were starting to take shape. He was playing the long game, even if it meant breaking a few things along the way.
And speaking of breaking things, enter the PayPal wars. Isaacson throws us right into the ring with Peter Thiel, Max Levchin, and this is like a clash of tech titans
Yeah.
with wildly different styles. That first merger meeting alone is movie-worthy.
Oh, I bet.
Okay, so picture this. Musk lowballs them on the deal, then crashes his McLaren with Teal in the passenger seat on the way to the next meeting.
Oh, my God. Only Elon Musk.
Right.
That's amazing.
It's audacious, a bit reckless,
Yeah.
and somehow it works.
Of course. It's that classic Musk paradox.
It really is. And this wasn't just about building a product.
Right.
It was about Musk's grand vision for X.com to disrupt the entire financial industry. Isaacson really captures that culture clash.
Yeah.
The constant battles over strategy, branding, even which operating system to use.
Oh, wow.
He literally arm wrestled Lev Chin to make a technical decision.
No way.
I'm not even kidding. You can't make this stuff up.
That's amazing.
It highlights this recurring theme. His conviction is as inspiring as it is frustrating.
Oh, absolutely.
For those who don't share his exact vision,
Right.
Isaacson makes it very clear. Musk demands everyone match his intensity.
Yeah.
Which, let's be honest, is not sustainable for everyone.
Not at all.
And ultimately leads to that dramatic boardroom coup while he's on his honeymoon. Talk about a Shakespearean twist. But even Isaacson seems to wonder, was it inevitable?
It makes you wonder, right? But here's what's so fascinating. Even his rivals were impressed.
Really?
Musk wasn't just a rich kid with big ideas.
Right.
He had the technical chops to back them up.
Okay.
That Oracle database solution he came up with.
Yeah.
Isaacson makes it clear. This wasn't just some random tech jargon.
Great.
It was a brilliant solution that saved the company millions
Wow.
and proved that even his rivals had to respect his technical knowledge.
So by this point, he's a force to be reckoned with. Even if his methods are, let's say, unconventional.
Right.
And this is just the beginning.
Exactly.
We've seen how Musk's childhood kind of forged that drive, that risk appetite.
Right.
But what about his personal life?
Yeah.
Isaacson doesn't shy away from the complexities there,
No, he doesn't.
especially when it comes to his relationship with Justine.
It's really fascinating.
It is.
It's a fascinating study in contrasts because on the one hand, you have these two very intense, very driven people
Right.
drawn to, I think, a certain level of drama, both of them.
Yeah.
But it's clearly not your typical, Silicon Valley romance.
Not by a long shot. We're talking like public arguments.
Yeah.
A prenup presented right before the wedding.
Oh, wow.
Even Kimball trying to stage an intervention.
Really?
Yeah. Like, it's intense.
Yeah.
And then there's this line
Okay.
that Elon whispers to Justine during their first dance.
Oh, no.
I am the alpha in this relationship.
Oh, my
This is
God.
a glimpse into the core of their dynamic.
It's intense. Isaacson has a knack for,
Yeah.
picking these these revealing moments that tell you so much about Musk's character.
Right.
And to his credit, he gives Justine a voice throughout this.
Okay.
He draws extensively on her perspective.
Yeah.
So it reminds us that this is just Elon's story, right?
Right.
It's also about the people who are swept up in his orbit.
Right. Who are affected by this.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got the millions from PayPal.
Okay.
He's got a new wife.
Right.
And this burning ambition to tackle these huge, like, world-changing problems. Where does he set his sights next? I mean, it's Mars, right?
You'd think so, right? I mean, it's the obvious next step.
Right.
But no, Isaacson takes us in a slightly different direction.
Okay.
Musk decides to tackle, let's say, a slightly more achievable goal first,
Okay.
which is turning humanity into a multiplanetary species.
Of course. Just a small little goal.
A minor undertaking.
Exact.
But in all seriousness, this wasn't just some whim, right?
Right.
This goes back to his lifelong fascination with space travel, this growing sense of urgency about,
Yeah.
the future of humanity.
Right.
Enter SpaceX,
Of course.
a company born from this grand vision. But like everything else with Musk, it wasn't exactly a smooth launch.
Well, I can imagine.
The classic Musk, right?
Right.
Taking on these entrenched aerospace giants, navigating government bureaucracy and, trying to defy the laws of physics all at the same time.
Right.
And Isaacson really beautifully captures both the technical challenges and the human drama of this.
Yeah.
We're talking rockets exploding, near-death experiences, constant clashes with engineers,
Oh, my God.
all while the clock is ticking
Right.
and the budget is dwindling.
It sounds like an emotional roller coaster.
It is. But amidst all this chaos, you see Musk's brilliance as an engineer shine through.
Okay.
Isaacson shows us how he inspires his team, how His just unwavering belief in this vision keeps them going, even when it seems like everything's about to fall apart.
So those early failures, the setbacks, they make the triumphs even sweeter.
Oh, absolutely. Think
Okay.
about it. They defied all odds and achieved what everyone thought was impossible.
Wow.
And Isaacson makes you feel like you're right there with them,
Wow.
experiencing every setback, every breakthrough.
Okay. So SpaceX is taking flight,
Yeah.
but he's got another grand idea brewing.
Oh, yeah. Always.
Electric cars.
Of course. This is where Isaacson's book truly shines. He doesn't just tell the story of Tesla. He pulls back the curtain on the entire electric car industry.
Okay.
We see the technical hurdles, the political battles, these established automakers threatened by Musk's vision.
Right, because this wasn't just about building a better car.
No.
It was about revolutionizing transportation.
Exactly. Isaacson sets the stage perfectly. Picture this. Early electric car companies struggling for traction.
Right.
Giant automakers dragging their feet. And a public skeptical of anything that wasn't a gas-guzzling machine.
Right. Nobody believed in it.
Everyone thought Musk was crazy.
Yeah.
Except he saw what they didn't.
Okay.
The potential for electric cars to be not just practical, but desirable.
He was determined to prove them wrong.
Oh, yeah.
And so begins, I guess, the Tesla saga, another wild ride with Musk at the helm.
Another one. And Isaacson takes us inside those really early days. Clashes with engineers, battles with suppliers, constant pushback from naysayers.
Right.
It's a familiar story.
And of course, you can't forget those moments where it all almost unraveled. The
Wow.
financial crisis,
Yeah.
the production delays, the ever-present threat of bankruptcy.
Right.
Isaacson does not sugarcoat the challenges.
No. But he also highlights Musk's resilience, his willingness to face those seemingly insurmountable odds head-on,
Right.
and his unwavering belief in the future of electric cars.
It's almost like he could see this future that others couldn't.
Right.
But it wasn't all smooth sailing.
Well,
The stories about production hell, the delays, the quality issues, I mean, they're infamous.
oh yeah. And Isaacson doesn't shy away from those details.
Yeah.
We see Musk pushing his team to the limit,
Yeah.
sleeping on the factory floor, driving himself and everyone around him to the brink of exhaustion.
Wow.
It's like that intensity that works so well in the early days at SpaceX, at Zip2.
Right.
It starts to become a liability as Tesla grows.
It's like those growing pains.
Right.
Trying to scale up, keep that breakneck pace. It
Yeah.
makes you wonder, at what cost?
It does. And Isaacson doesn't let us forget the personal toll.
Yeah.
His marriage to Justine falls apart. He goes through another divorce. His public persona becomes increasingly, well, let's just say unconventional.
Right.
Isaacson really masterfully portrays the human cost of Musk's relentless drive.
It's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of it all.
Oh, yeah.
Tesla and SpaceX.
It's a lot.
But those are just two pieces of the puzzle, really.
Right.
Isaacson doesn't stop there. He takes us deeper into Musk's grand vision,
Okay.
this relentless pursuit of solving what he calls humanity's biggest problems.
That's what makes this biography so much more than just a business story.
Right.
It's about someone trying to reshape how we live,
Wow.
work,
Yeah.
even think about our place in the universe.
It's like he's on a mission.
Right.
And each company, SpaceX, Tesla, Solar City, Neuralink, the Boring Company, it's like they're all connected
They are.
by this drive to push boundaries.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what I find so fascinating is how Isaacson traces the evolution of Musk's thinking.
Okay.
It's not just about disrupting industries anymore,
Right.
like with Zip2 and PayPal. Now, it's these grand, almost existential challenges.
Wow.
Sustainable energy,
Right.
space exploration,
Yeah.
even the future of human consciousness.
From digital disruption to tackling the fate of humanity.
It's a wild trajectory.
It really is.
But there's this one constant thread,
What's that?
this deep belief
Yeah.
that we can solve these big problems,
Okay.
that we can create a better future,
Yeah.
and that technology is the key.
It's like core to his philosophy.
It is. Musk's not just a businessman.
Right.
He's a technologist at heart.
Yeah.
Isaacson really drives this point home.
Okay.
Musk truly believes that innovation equals progress,
Right.
and that we have this moral obligation to see how far we can push the limits.
And he is certainly not afraid to challenge, well, any kind of conventional thinking.
Oh, no.
Sending humans to Mars, underground tunnels to fix traffic, brain-computer interfaces.
Yeah.
These aren't just like incremental improvements. These are paradigm shifts.
Exactly. And Isaacson argues that Musk's genius isn't just in, dreaming these up.
Right.
It's in his absolute dedication to making them real. He's not afraid to get his hands dirty, to experiment, to fail.
Right.
And crucially, to learn from those failures.
That really comes through in the book.
Yeah.
This embracing of risk, this idea that failure is just part of the process.
Right.
When you're trying to achieve something truly groundbreaking.
It's like he sees setbacks as stepping stones.
Yeah.
And that's a powerful lesson for anyone.
It is.
Think about what you could accomplish if you weren't afraid to fail.
Right.
If you saw it as data, as a chance to refine your approach.
It's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
But it's not just about the tech.
Right.
Isaacson also digs into Musk's motivations,
Yeah.
his fears, the very personal reasons that are driving him to take on these huge challenges.
And that's the mark of a great biography.
Yeah.
It doesn't shy away from that human element.
Right.
It's not just rockets and algorithms, right? It's about a person grappling with some of the biggest questions we face as a species.
It's true. We see the vulnerability, the moments of self-doubt,
Right.
even fear. But alongside that, there's this unwavering drive to use his resources,
Yeah.
his intellect to make a difference.
And that's what really stuck with me. This idea that one person with enough passion, enough dedication can make a difference.
It's inspiring.
It might sound naive,
Yeah,
but Isaacson makes you believe it, at least for a little while.
I can see that. It's an inspiring thought.
Yeah.
But it's not always pretty.
No,
Isaacson doesn't gloss over the tougher aspects.
he doesn't.
The struggles with relationships, that demanding management style, the increasingly, well, let's just say controversial public persona.
Right. And that honesty is crucial.
Yeah, it is.
Isaacson doesn't present Musk as this flawless hero.
Right,
He's complicated.
Right.
He's flawed, brilliant and challenging,
right.
inspiring and frustrating.
Yeah.
He pushes people to their limits, but he's also pushing himself to the brink. Right. It makes you wonder, is it all sustainable?
It does. That's the question we're left with. We've gone beyond the headlines, beyond the myths.
Right.
We've seen glimpses of, I think, the real Elon Musk.
Yes.
The innovator, the visionary, this complex and often contradictory human being.
Absolutely. And as Isaacson leaves us, it's clear this story is far from over.
Not even close.
His ventures are still evolving. His ambitions are unfolding.
It's like watching this high-stakes game in real time.
It is.
And we're all just trying to keep up.
Exactly.
So as you see Musk making his next moves, as he inevitably will,
Right.
remember this. He's not just building companies. He is trying to shape the future.
He is.
Whether you admire him or you critique him, you can't deny the impact he's having.
Absolutely. And it makes you wonder, who will be the next Elon Musk?
Right.
What new visionaries will emerge, challenge the status quo, push the boundaries even further? What seemingly impossible problems will they set their sights on?
Because that's the real takeaway.
What is?
The future isn't predetermined.
It isn't.
It's something we create.
We do.
And as Elon Musk, with all his flaws and brilliance, has shown us, the power to shape that future lies in our imagination, our will, and our willingness to, well, dream big.
Dream big.
Even if it means making a few messes along the way.
That's part of it.